Alright, I am Yayeni Chimbia. I want to talk about understanding poverty in the UK, a nursing perspective. I'll start by giving a definition on poverty. Poverty is the absence of enough funds which cannot meet the minimum basic requirements. Basic requirements of life, like education, food, health care, and shelter. Understanding poverty in nursing is very important. Poverty limits access to health care, like the preventive services. As one who have worked in the healthcare system before, I have seen how mental and physical health were affected, which led to higher rates of illness and stress. This made me to recognize the link between poverty and health, which has made me more empathetic. What are absolute and relative poverty? Absolute poverty has its own strengths and weaknesses. Also, relative poverty has its own strengths and weaknesses. Those who are mostly in need with a global benchmark are identified as absolute poverty. Moreover, the difference in living costs between countries accounts for social well-being are not reflected. While relative poverty shows gaps between rich and poor, which helps me to understand inequality, the threshold can change as economy grows because it can be hard to compare across nations. How poverty has evolved in Britain. Extreme poverty has been reduced by Britain after the Second World War, with the establishment of welfare states and the NHS. In the 1980s and in the 1990s, the welfare gap was widened by economic policies, and today people still live below the poverty line even when they have jobs. In recent times, issues in raising child poverty, cost of living crisis, and benefit cuts with high inflation and energy prices. Statistics has shown in 2023 that over 14.4 million people in the UK live in poverty, and 4.2 million children are affected. These findings shows that poverty remains a serious ongoing issue. Poverty measurement methods. Ways to measure poverty. Income-based measures. These are relative income and absolute income. Earnings between 60% of the media is known as the relative income, compared to a fixed standard over time is called absolute measure. Now, material deprivation is described as essential item that people can't afford, such as heating, proper meals, or basic goods. Minimum income standards helps determine living wages based on what the public believe is needed for a decent standard of living. The Multidimensional Poverty Index is an international tool that includes health, education, and living standards. This method adds another more fact to understanding poverty. Pros and cons of measuring poverty. Every method has strengths and weaknesses. Now, the pros. It is easy to interpret income-based measure, real-time hardship, display material deprivation, and a broader understanding of how poverty affects life quality, which MPI provides. Now, the cons of it. Income measures. The cons of it. Income measures miss out on other costs like debts or rent. Material deprivation is based on personal reporting which can vary, and MPI cannot be compared between countries because it is complex. Therefore, multiple measures need to be used together to get an accurate picture. Poverty, health, and nursing impact. Now let's explore how poverty affects health and what that means for nursing. Chronic diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and respiratory problems can be increased by poverty, physically due to poor living conditions and nutrition. Financial stress can often lead mental health, anxiety, depression, and higher substance misuse. People in poverty may find it difficult to get access into the healthcare system, struggle with transport costs, or lack of digital access to online health services. Now, the nursing role. As a nurse to be, I know we play a vital role in advocating for vulnerable patients, identifying poverty-related health issues early, promoting public health programs, and community outreach. Now, in conclusion, I would say millions in the UK continue to live in poverty, and it deeply affects health and quality of life. Both absolute and relative poverty shows inequality in different ways, but neither alone captures the full picture. As nurses, understanding these connections help us provide better, more compassionate care. If we want to achieve health equality, we must address poverty itself. Thank you very much.